Atlanta Raceway here on Green Flag TV. Welcome, race fans, one and all, back to the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar Series. It's round 7 of 9 here at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. And what a night it is set to be. My name is Nolan Rempel alongside Lucas Moody. We bring you all of racing action from start to finish here on this fantastic Saturday afternoon. It's going to be a wild one here this afternoon, Lucas. 69 laps of racing action set to kick off here for the Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, and qualifying getting underway as of right now. It's going to be a fun ride here for the next hour and a half or so as we get set to go racing once again at the home of Petit Le Mans.
A fun ride indeed. Here we are in Braselton, Georgia, just northeast of the city center of Atlanta. This is an absolutely magnificent track, by far my favorite, located on this side of the Grand Meridian, and by far my favorite track to drive in these IndyCar machines. I've been to it once for the Petit Le Mans last year. I've driven it many times on the sim, and I cannot wait to start with today's action.
So right now, most drivers are on slicks, although there are 6 guys that are starting this race on the wet weather compound. Time to get the party started. It's go, go, go in Braselton, Georgia, the Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. A big chop across the nose, looking for 3-1 here, coming down to the turn number 1. Rooster Tails kicking up in the braking zone at turn number 1. As Phil fires up and over the hill, back down in towards turn number 3. That blind right hand that you alluded to in qualifying. Some cars daring to go side by side through here as Matt Brewer leads the way at the bottom of the hill to turn 5, and now headed towards turn number 6.
Yeah, it's a great start from Matt Brewer, able to get the jump on our Pulsar Costec Solowage. And now what you have to do if you're running these alternate tires is get a gap, because the rain is coming, it's coming hard, and you need to push as much as you possibly can before you have to put in the ultimate. Here's a fight for the lead, Nolan.
Costec Solowage looking for the race lead. Is going to go around the left-hand side of Matt Brewer on the drive down into turn numbers 10A and 10B. And Solowage able to get clear. Brewer unable to go for the over-under. And another battle deeper in the pack as Milan Vogelzang ducking around Andres Vince, who is on those wet weather tires. And now for the lead once again, Matt Brewer back to the inside of turn 1, forcing out, Solowage forcing out Brewer to the left-hand side. Oh, so close between the two. Solowage just able to clear him, and he's chopped the nose of Matt Brewer, and Brewer missing half of the front wing.
Absolutely mental move from those two drivers early. That is probably one of the corners in all of racing that I would say you never go side by side through there.
We don't currently have a graphic for the wet weather tires. We can see those like sort of like half triangles or half octagons. Those are drivers that are right now running wet weather compounds. Matt Brewer is going to be forced into pit road as he has to drop all the way to the tail end. Further behind, Sebastian Kinder fights his way around Kyle Clenworth. And several drivers coming to pit road. And I think all these drivers here are on wet weather tires, and they're changing over to slicks.
Sometimes risks are what you have to do, but here we go. Monlaw on the outside of Heitzema for 4th position. This should be a pretty easy move for the 13 machine as he is on the reds, and Heitzema's on the whites, but contact nearly happens there.
Is Marshall Crocker Jr. also still in the fray, and you see Heitzema going defensive here in the SS downhill, trying to fend off the behind, but those prime tires are just not offering the grip right now.
And because it was raining, that primary tire hasn't been able to find its advantage. And that's putting Heitzema under a lot of pressure here as we have some more takers for pit road.
Kinder Violas. Oh, hold on, as that's cold tires for you, and into the wall goes Sebastian Kinder. A tough break for the Frenchman, and he is going to have to take a tow to pit road.
And now that Heitzema was able to defend for those couple laps for the primary source, well, here we go, a dive bomb from Crocker Jr. to the inside of 10A, and he will clear Heitzema for 5th place, but maybe the over-under, Nolan.
Marshall Crocker Jr. making good use of the push to pass road, and Eveting also on the button as he's going to duck around Heitzema as well, trying to make short work and open up the door. But here comes Heitzema trying to cut back to the inside into turn number 1. Heitzema's not giving this one up without a fight, and clearing him is going to be Roden Eveting. So Eveting gets around Heitzema, and that might be game over for that battle for the time being, as they have now caught up to Marshall Crocker Jr. and, well, out of the race. Just clipped too much of the curb.
So I think what happened is that curb on the apex of turn 3, just a little bit slick, a little bit wet from the rain that we got earlier this race. It caught Kinder out, and it probably would have caught me out too, as that's usually a curb you can take a lot of as the lap car goes to the grass to avoid any sort of interference with the lead car battle. I'm actually not opposed to that move.
Man, I mean, these guys are going at it here. You saw Crocker and Ethan threatening to go 3 wide into 10A, and that is what has now allowed Heitzman to close back in and try to have an attack down the inside of turn 1. But again, those prime tires with no pace underneath right now. And now coming up to turn 3, or through out of turn 3, Julian Altena losing a spot to Amon Lull, as Lull in the VOR machine gonna pounce and fire his way up into 3rd.
I've had it happen to me a couple times. It is so unfortunate because you would think, what, a little orange plastic cone is gonna break my front wing, and yes, it is. Once again, Eveting and Crocker Jr. fighting at the hand, or fighting side by side here. It's a big lunge from Eveting. He even gets a little bit sideways in 10B.
And looking like this fight's going to break apart just a little bit for the time being. This is what happened to Matt Brewer. Oh, that's a hardware failure. That is a hardware failure through and through, and you can hear the car is still stuck at full throttle. That is a complete wheel disconnect. And this, just a little while ago, this is Vitor Gulharm here, trying to go down the inside, and he's going to collide with, I think that's Vinci just in front. And he spears off the road as well. Closing back in on Liam O'Sullivan. He's going to look to make a move down to the inside at turn 10. And Amon Lull through into 2nd place. Right, he kind of recognizes these guys are going to be at that tire fall off pretty soon here, so he can go a few extra laps and try to see if he can maybe run down some of the pace later on. Oh no, hold on, look out, off the road, Marshall Crocker Jr. hard into the outside wall.
Why are we going too wide through turns 4? That is only a recipe for disaster. Oh, Crocker Jr. gets a little wide. Heitzema, though, not only did he send it, he simply just didn't hold the apex.
Well,
I mean,
right there, Crockett's loose, right? And it looks like he's actually trying to hold wide here to let Heitzma through. I think just miscommunication there. I think Heitzma didn't realize that Croc was trying to let him through, so he went in there with the intention to race, and that's all she wrote. 0.2 of a second. He's going to be close enough to have a look here coming down to the turn 10A. Is he going to have to go for it on his teammate? Yes, he is. Down to the inside of the monologue, going to lift a little bit early. Oh, bit of a wobble there for O'Sullivan on the brakes, but he's able to pull it up.
Yeah, I've talked about it. The primes are a hard tire to get up to temperature, and oh no!
Oh boy.
And is that a Mon Law going way off the track?
Yeah, it sure was.
As well.
As Altena closing in on his teammate Liam O'Sullivan, looking for the right-hand side. O'Sullivan going to go defensive. Altena takes that one around the outside, and O'Sullivan chops the nose of Evening coming down to the turn 10A. Andres Vinci having a slide through turn 5, keeps it on the racetrack. No harm, no foul. Smokes the tires a little bit, yes, but otherwise, good to go. And whoa, hold on. Oh no, a big crash. Huge crash back in the field here. And that is the 52 as heads up. Vogelzang scrambles along with Amon Lull. And man, disaster for Dan Inch, who has crashed hard into the wall. What in the world happened in the 2 seconds that we looked away? Hopped over the curbing and then just got run over from behind.
It's still hard to predict where he is. It's hard to know actually what's happening.
He saw him. The only issue is he didn't know where he was going to go, and O'Sullivan inexplicably decides, I'm going to go right.
This lengthy formula, if you know how to get it in the end. And if you have a good handle on a car. Oh no! Liam O'Sullivan's race is over!
Goes into the wall and game over for Liam O'Sullivan.
As the 12 of Liam O'Sullivan loses it on these cold primary tires, is too much loud pedal.
Here comes Heitzman, meanwhile, looking to attack him on Lull. He's going to try to go around the right-hand side. The battle for 5th is on. By the way, you were talking about potentially going options, primes, options. Most drivers have put white rim tires back on the car so they can go the distance. Bit of a shallow exit of turn 10A and immediately putting in the push to pass and utilizing the slipstream, trying to go potentially for an overtake here into turn 10A, this time by a 10th and a half, down to a 10th, pulls on the side, big block from Julian Altena. Evening back to the left-hand side, dives to the inside at turn 10, and he is around the team principal, and Evening taking off towards turn numbers 11 and 12. Amon Lull hit the exit limit, and he's been DQ'd.
That straight up puts him finishing 17th, dead last in the points. and a big rear lockup just gives him another 2x.
They'll be looking to take the final lap this time by. And there's the Eveting putting in the push to pass, breaking the draft, trying to snake left and right across the racetrack to keep his teammate and team boss behind him. Altena closing in more and more. Down, round the outside, trying for it in the 10A, not able to get there.
We'll go back to this main battle for a second here.
Clenworth spinning off the racetrack and now being caught out. Oh, hold on, look out, is holy cow. Clenworth pick a lane as he did not know where to go. Meanwhile, Kostek Solowaj coming out of the final corners and coming around. It is a dominating performance. Kostek Solowaj wins the race here at Road Atlanta. And now the battle for second. Altena trying to hold on. Eveting trying to find a way through. Altena got through this time by. Eveting trying to go for the over under the 10A. Can't get a run through 10B. Nearly runs into the gearbox coming out of 10B that time by. Up over the hill, diving down to the start finish line. Julian Altena holds on for second. Well, coming home, number one this afternoon, it's Kostek Solowaj with Julian Altena in second. Ronan Eveting finishes off in third with Milan Vogelzhang in fourth. Heitzma back in fifth. Brian Fiolos in sixth. John Christian was in seventh. Andres Vinci in eighth. Kyle Clenworth, the last car to finish this race, in ninth. And, well, Amon Lal DQ'd out of this race, classified in 10th.
Yeah, and then finishing in 11th, it'll be Liam O'Sullivan, followed by Dan Ench, Marshall Crocker Jr., Vitor Gilherme, Matt Brewer, Sebastian Dufresne, Sebastian Kinder, and then Senna Bokovin, who I believe was not able to race due to a lack of practice laps in the practice session.